right, guys, top of the morning. Happy October 8th, coming to you live, coming to you well, coming to you fresh, coming to you really in the understanding at a conscious level of doing hard things purposefully. I purposefully set my mornings up with early calls. My first call this morning was at 6 a.m. And so I do this to make sure that I'm doing the harder things early in the morning to give myself momentum. These are the things that light me up. This is, something that excites me to see your guys' growth, to impact your growth. So I'm up early, making sure that I'm ready to go, firing on all cylinders. So you guys, I'm grateful to be here, grateful for all the opportunities, and grateful to spend this hour with you per usual. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing off the ground and running. I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field, share their thoughts, share their sentiment, and kind of kick this thing off. And that person is going to be, where did she go? Blessing, are you no longer here? There she is. Blessing, you're top right. So Blessing, I'm going to have you share your thoughts, share your sentiment. You always do such a really great job of putting things into perspective. So I'm going to go over to you and share your thoughts and energy with the group.
Good morning, everyone. On a day when I don't feel the greatest, you got to show up.
Of
And just
course.
like Elias said, do the hard things first, because at the end of the day, when you can sit back and know that you did everything that's needed and you didn't get in your way, you didn't let anything stop you, you didn't care how you felt, you did what was necessary, that's the best kind of sleep. It's the best kind of, settling in, knowing I did everything I needed to push my business forward, not because there's someone on my back, but because I've got people that are depending on me. So just know that every single time you show up, even if you don't know who that person is, if it's not your friends or family, there's someone that's waiting on you and your gift and your purpose and your video and your message specifically. So just keep showing up every single day.
Yes, Blessing. And hopefully you feel better. But I appreciate you showing up despite, because at the end of the day, this business is going to favor the people that show up despite their mood, despite conditions, despite their fears, their doubts. And so you have somebody that has epitomized that. And you got something cool coming in the mail. You want to share that with everyone, that email from yesterday and what that meant to you?
Yeah, I saw that and I got so excited. Um I'm getting Team Fast swag. I'm getting the jacket, the
But
branding
why?
jacket.
But why are you getting it?
Oh, because I have closed my 20th deal as a fast agent. Um yeah, I saw that, and like I was saying, like, you just put your head down and you grind, and sometimes you feel like no one sees it, and like you get like, I don't always celebrate my wins, so it's like just going through and finally checking my email and seeing that, I was like, oh my goodness, because I remember Jeff Phillips like posting his, and I was so jealous of that jacket. It's so cool. I'm so excited.
I would ever share that level of excitement and energy. Because remember, when she started out, she wasn't feeling too good. Listen to her voice and her energy now.
I want a jacket too. I'm jealous. I'm
So
coming for my
excited.
next.
All right, the jackets are all there. You guys, listen, we're starting out with the people that have closed 20 deals, and then we're working on t-shirts and everything. And so stay tuned. More things are coming. But Blessing, we just want to say congratulations to you. Love the growth that you've shown. And so super excited for you. So a couple things I want to share with you guys, as you guys may have heard or may not know. When you are using ChatGPT now, so ChatGPT is going to now integrate with Zillow. And so I don't care what our stance is on this, the controversy, people want to say whatever it is. Zillow's had some hits over the last couple of weeks. They are in 4 lawsuits right now. But I think about how many people are on chat. I think the number is in like the 8 billion range, and give or take, don't quote me on that. But what that means is that they're going to be able to pull all this information from Zillow. So when we're doing real-time information, when we're doing property, research, when we're doing area research, when we're pulling data, chat is now going to be, directly pulling from Zillow. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like in the future. There's controversy that says, well, they can't do that because that's from local MLSs and local IDXs. I don't know all the particulars on that. I just know now when you go into Zillow and you're pulling stats and you're pulling data for market reports, for trends, for nuances and patterns, you're going to be able to see some real-time data from Zillow. And so be conscious of that, be aware of that, and just start to really lean into it. We should really be masters at talking about the market, where we're at, the conditions, and what we're seeing and what we're experiencing. So we'll talk about that in just a second. I'm going to give you guys some things to talk about, to think about. And I'm also going to put you on the spot today in what we call our hot seat style roundtable. The reason why I do this is that I want to test your knowledge. And I don't care if you're brand new on this team or you've been here for 5 years. I want to hear what you're saying, and what you'll find is you'll find lines or words or phrases or statements or data that someone's pulling, and then they'll also share their sources. So it's a really, really good way for us to, share the collective wisdom and lean into this. And so I'm excited for today. Vernon, how we doing, big dog?
Doing pretty good, brother, man. Doing pretty good. It's good to see you and everyone else's handsome and beautiful faces this morning.
That's right. I had to call Vernon the other day because I had to let the dog out. The dog's been in the kennel for a long time, but I had to let the dog out because Larissa broke up with her boyfriend. He texted her, broke up with her, whatever. He's a chump. And then one of his friends texted my daughter and called her a name. The dog and me, the dad and me. I was like, you pull up, you bring your 5 best, and I'm ready. And like he did it because he's dumb, but he apologized, and I'm sorry. He changed his tune real quick, and I was fired up. My veins were popping out. My wife's like, "You okay, babe?" I'm like, I'm good. But that shows my daughter that I'm not going to let somebody call her a name. Then also going to show her that, hey, listen, like, this is how you should be treated as a man, as a woman. Like, you should be honored. You should have somebody lift you up. You should have somebody treat you as a true queen, take you out, buy you dinners, open the door for you, walk on the right side of the street. Like, be a damn gentleman, not some chump who's soft. And she knows that no matter what, as hard as I am on my daughters, she'll know that she is always protected by me. Oh, yeah, you're right. Homeboy said some shit out of pocket. His homeboy said some stuff in a text message. I said, send me his number. Send me his. I was fired up. I was fired up. So anyways, I'm calm now, and I'm ready to go and fire on all cylinders. So you guys, we're here. It is the fourth quarter of the year. You guys are either now planned, prepped, and prepared, or you're still dragging ass. You see, all I want for you guys is to set a very, very clear intention of how you're going to end this year. Set 3 to 5 things that you're going to do in October. Set 3 to 5 things that you'll do in November. Set 3 to 5 things that you'll do in December. Simple, easy to execute. Go out there, be human, connect at a very, very high level, and be warm with your reach out, you guys. This is the time that we can do it. And if you're just starting out, cool. Then talk about all the things that are happening in your local area. Be warm, reach out, do your handwritten cards, you guys. So a couple things that we're doing in the office to help you with this is in December, we are doing cocoa and cards. We're doing that in Stockton, and we're doing it in our Oakland office. And if you're a guest on the line today, you were invited as well. We're going to provide, some cocoa. We're going to have you guys bring your cards. Hopefully you get some headshots ahead of time. So you want to insert those into the cards that you're sending out to your sphere, to your friends, to your database, to your leads. And then we're also doing letters to Santa. So we're going to have a day in December on a Saturday where everyone's able to bring their friends and family and past clients and clients that they're working with. And we're going to do letters to Santa. We're going to decorate the office really cute. And then the kids are going to write their letters to Santa. We'll have a little mailbox for them to drop them. And so we're doing things as a company to put you in the best position to reach out on human level. You're either doing the work right now or you are not. And my question is, why do you have your license if you're not doing the work? Like, if you're sitting there waiting and getting ready to get ready, I'll be real with you. You can overtrain yourself. You can overtrain yourself. You could go to every single coaching, every single conversion clinic, every single in-person. You can drive down to the South Bay and go to Tom Ferry. You can go to the mastermind. You can go anywhere in this country and take copious amount of notes. But what you can do, my friends, what you can do is you can overtrain yourself. You see, the confidence doesn't come from you sitting in those sessions, knowing every single thing that you need to know about the MLS and your contracts. It comes from the doing. So if you're still not taking action, if you're still sitting there thinking about all the things, getting ready to get ready, why did you get your license? Why did you get your license? To sit back and be idle? To think about all the things that you know that you're going to do and not do that? You guys, era of execution. This should be the era where you're just going out there taking imperfect, consistent action. Shrey, for example, she's new on social media. She's showing up. She's doing the thing. She doesn't have all the answers, but she's just doing it. She's asking for help, asking for support, rapping with Molly the other day saying, hey, what should I do with social media? But it's just like, you guys are either going to take imperfect, consistent action, or you're going to sit there and be idle. Listen, if you're coming to these sessions and you're not doing anything with it, then I'm letting you down. Like I'm doing something that is not inspiring you enough to go out there and take one thing that you could apply in your life and business. And yes, I have said this before and I'll say it again. If you are not doing the things that we talk about to move yourself forward from coaching, then why do you come to coaching? Why do you come to coaching? If you don't want the ball, then you should not be at practice. If you're ready for the ball, if you're ready to go make your family some money, then shit, let's do this thing. Like I'm here to support you and push you, but I can't want this for anybody more than I want it for you, than you want it for yourself. We have to say, you know what? I'm going to do one thing today. One thing. If you don't have business, go fucking knock on some doors. You don't have any business, go host an open house this weekend. You're scared to get yourself on social media, get over yourself. That is your face, that is your voice. I don't know what to say. Say something. Because something and the shitty video that you're just sitting on your phone, not posting on social media is not doing anything. It's not doing anything. So I want to come to you guys with an energy of let's make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position to have Christmas escrows, not Christmas debt. I want Christmas escrows for you, not Christmas debt on a 15% interest rate on your MasterCard. That's not what I want for you. So you have a choice, my friends. You're either going to do something about it or you're going to find yourself January 1st going and finding a job, a 9 to 5, an 8 to 5, where you have no other options. You don't have flexibility to go attend that recital. You don't have the options to go and do something cool with the family any day of the week that you want. You no longer have that option because you are in the confines of somebody else's world. You are now leading or being led by somebody else as a CEO instead of you saying, you know what? I am in charge. I am the corporation of blessing. I refuse. So you guys, you have to come correct. If you're coming to coaching, I expect for you guys to take action. I expect that. Should I expect anything less from you guys? I shouldn't expect anything less from anybody on this call except for consistent, imperfect action. That's all I expect from you guys. And if you're not doing that, my question is why? What needs to change? And do you feel that you're in the right business? And I love you guys. I absolutely love everybody on this call. But I want to be very, very clear with that, you guys. We're here to take action. Imperfect, consistent, gritty, scared action. But I know the results. I could look on the screen. I could look at the Vernons. I could look at the Patricks. I could look at the Blessing. I could look at the Mara. I could look at the Heather. I could look at the Evangeline. I could look at the Aarons. I can go screen by screen, by slide. I could see the people that have done just that and the results and the impact that it's made in their business. You guys, I have run through the wall energy. It is the fourth quarter of 2025. I'm looking on the horizon. What are we going to do for first quarter? What are we going to do for first quarter? How are we going to end this year? How can I double down? How can I do more, impact more, help other people grow more? And I will always set the example for you guys. I'm never going to let you down because I promise you I'm not going to let myself down. This business means too much to me to ever let it go. And the way that I will never let it go is because I'm going to stay in consistent, imperfect action. That's my thoughts. That's my sentiment. That's what I want to share with you guys. Anybody have any contributions, any thoughts, or any insights on that vein? Would love to hear from you guys. Vernon, would love to hear from you, Big Dog. You and I speak the same language, but anybody else who wants to get involved in the conversation, the mic is yours. Let's go, Vernon.
Yeah, let's go. Era of execution is probably the three most powerful words that you stated this morning. And that's just what it is. And it's, it's the consistent imperfect. We are perfectly imperfect as human beings at the core of us, right? So anything that we do, if we're in execution and we are being perfectly imperfect in our humanness, there's an audience for you. So get over yourself, be comfortable being perfectly imperfect, and stay in the era of execution. Yo, we want Christmas escrows. We don't want Christmas debt. I mean, that was probably the second most powerful thing you said. You cooking?
Man,
Or hey, look, Bobby got you cooking this morning, huh?
you guys, I'm just excited. Like, listen, like, check your energy at the door right now. What level of action energy do you have? Right? I'm at a fucking 25 on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm like action energy. We sat in a room the other day for 6 hours planning and prepping what's going to take this company forward, what we're going to do to stretch ourselves as a leadership team. What are we going to put on the calendar for you guys? I'm working on all my workbooks for business planning. I'm traveling to 9 states. Like, I am ready to go. Impact, no other way. My vision is so strong that it's demanding my discipline, and I see no other way. And you guys, I have seen how it's changed my life. So yes, I share this energy with you. Because man, do I want you guys to have the life that you truly, truly dream of. Christmas escrows versus Christmas debt. Yes, yes, Vernon. Let's go, Christina. What do you got for us, big dog? Thank you, Vernon.
First of all, I want to have some coffee that you had this morning.
I've only had one.
I love it.
It was at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, I was up at 4:20 at working out at 5:30, so I get it. So I love it. One thing I want to add is talking about the holidays. One thing you guys can, promote, or there be social media, reaching out to clients. If they close escrow in November, they won't have their first mortgage payment until January. So that could be a real idea of celebrate Christmas in your new home and not have a mortgage payment until the month after. So just throw that out to you guys as some fun, IG kind of stuff, content to put. But going back to the accountability thing, when we were at your house and we were talking about, together, like, what are we doing for the fourth quarter? And I love how you kind of called us out on our shit, because we can all say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it in my notes. I'm going to put it in my phone. But do you do it? Right? So you're like, okay. And you ask that question. Well, then, okay, Christina, what are you going to do? So my thing was doing candy bags for Halloween and having a tag and passing them out to everybody that comes in the neighborhood. Because I've been farming my neighborhood and letting them know, like, hey, I live here. I'm in Brentwood, Garin Ranch. This is where I am. Like, I'm not just marketing here. I'm actually your neighbor. But now when they come to the door, they're going to get, the kids are going to get these candy bags. So I reached out to my marketing. They made these little Popeye tags, and it should be at my house. I think it's going to mail it to me like in the next week or so, and I'm going to do it. But I love how, like, you challenge us in that way, because we can all have it in our head. But until you say, all right, now what? Leave your house, have some great food, chips, cookies, have great socializing. But then if we don't do anything with it, like, you could have just stayed home and scrolled on IG and gotten ideas elsewhere and not execute it. So that was me holding myself accountable. I'm letting you know I ordered the tags. They're coming in, and I'm super excited about it.
God, I absolutely love this. You guys, listen, that is the highest form of love in our business, is accountability. Right? It's accountability. And I do not like empty words. I do not like empty words, and nor do you. It doesn't feel good. Oh, you said all this stuff. Did you say it to placate people? Or did you say it because you meant it? You really wanted to drive your business forward. We're not here to placate people, right? We are honest to our word, written as well as spoken. We are honest. We are true to our word no matter what. Because the moment that you say something and then you continuously don't do it, all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're hurting your esteem. It's lower and lower and lower. You tell yourself that you're the person that doesn't show up, doesn't finish, and doesn't follow through on their word. I don't know about you guys. That's not the type of behavior. That's not the type of cognitive behavior that I want for myself. And that's certainly not the cognitive behavior that I want for you. Don't lie to yourself. Don't be a liar to yourself. And so I want to stay there for a second. We're going to move on. Blessing, I'm going to call on you in just a second, but not too hard, because I know you're not feeling that well. Let me pull something up really quick. All right, cool. I'm going to pull this up. So you guys, obviously, the market is changing. The market's weird in some places. The market is thriving. I feel that there's certain houses that were sitting on the market for a long time, and now we're seeing those houses get into contract. I see buyer demand is up. I talked to our lender partners. They say that the applications have been up. Interest rates went down a little bit, went up a little bit. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Job report came out. Interest rates went up or down a little bit. And so I want you guys to be students of economics. I'm not telling you to be a scholar, but basic level understanding 101 of economics. So, Blessing, I'm going to have you put some people on the hot seat. Are you okay with this task?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I guess I could do that, coach. All right, cool. So I'm going to go hot seat here, and I'm going to pull this up really, really quick, and I'm going to present this. So get ready, guys. We're going to have some fun right now. This is going to test your knowledge. I want you guys to be clear on the market here, so you are not practicing on your consumer. So hot seat. So Blessing gets to pick the person. That way I'm not picking the person. When you look at the last 60 days of activity in your local market, what's the single biggest shift you've noticed in buyer motivation, inventory behavior, or seller confidence? And what does it tell you about where we are headed next? Okay, I think this is a really, really good question. I'm going to leave this up on the screen. Feel free, if you don't answer this question, take a picture of that and make sure that you have a solid question that or answer that. I want you to imagine you get asked to speak on a panel next week at your local association of realtors, and they sit down and they ask you questions in the same manner. What are you going to say? So, Blessing, I'm going to put it over to you. Who are you going to choose to answer this question?
This person did an awesome job the last time I heard them on the fly talk about their market. Mara, do you want to go ahead and take a stab at that question?
Mara, be mad at her, not me.
I'm not mad at all. This is great. Hey, if you're not sitting in the hot seat, you're not growing, right? I'm
That's
totally okay with this. So when I look at my market in the last 60 days, the activity that I've seen is it's pretty flat line. No, there hasn't been a shift either way, is what we're seeing. So it's still leaning towards that seller market. The one thing we are seeing is that I always write notes before I start this. Just in case I'm put on the hot seat. So the one thing we're seeing that in the city of Napa, it is flat year over year. So we're not really seeing it go up and down, like I said. And then the other big change that we're seeing, which isn't that big of a change, is we have less days on the market slightly. So we're still seeing that it is a seller's market. It hasn't shifted in Napa to a buyer's market yet, like we're seeing the rest of California. But the days on the market are going a little bit lower. And I would contribute that to the fact that the sellers are getting more realistic about their pricing. So like, just from my perspective, not anything that I'm seeing is that I'm seeing less drops, less of those huge drops, price drops. So that's telling me, my interpretation is that when they price the houses, they're pricing them more realistic, which is generating that interest right away. So I would say, what does that tell us about where we're headed next? I would say that would tell us, how would we interpret that? It is moving towards then it would be moving more towards a buyer's market, because if the sellers are coming in at a more aggressive price, then I feel like the buyers are going to have a little bit more options to shop around. They're not going to feel so pigeonholed to their price point. That's my interpretation.
Okay, I absolutely love it. So really, really good stuff. Blessing, I want to go to you first. What were some things that you heard Mara say that really stood out on a very, very positive angle?
The thing about Mara is that she can take the information, like, and I heard it and I lost it the moment you asked me, but she gives a stat and then explains why, or like what it means for the buyer. Like, here's what's happening, here's the shift, and it's, the next thing. Like, it's that cadence. I heard it a couple of times. Like I said, I just forgot the point the moment you asked me, but she's very clear, and not just leaving out a detail, but giving it to you, explaining and helping you along the way. Like, that gives confidence and is that advisor role.
I love it. I love it. So here's what she does very, very well in her words. It's not the consumer's responsibility to decipher the information. It's your responsibility to help them interpret the information, to kind of dumb the information down in a way that layman's can understand. When we talk about days on the market, when we talk about comps, we talk about all these things, like we have to simplify the message in order for a consumer to be able to receive the information. Last thing we want to do is overwhelm them. So she shared the data, and then she gave a real-time example of how she feels those will impact the market. So I thought that was really, really astute, the way that you put those words together. Let's go TT, key thoughts, takeaways, something that you heard from Mara that stood out for you, and then we'll go straight next.
Yeah.
TT.
Hey. I agree with Mara. Mara is very thorough in explaining and kind of saying, hey, this is what you can do. And she knows a lot about Napa, which I appreciate. And being that it's turning into a buyer's market, I want to buy a Napa and drink some wine just from your report.
That's right. That's right.
But I really like the way Mara is personable. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she shares it a very, very personal way. It's easy to listen to her. Shrey, let's go to you. What were some things that you heard from Mara's answer to the question?
Yeah, I also wanted to kind of agree with everyone. I got a chance to meet Mara in person, and just hearing her explain the market in her area, I felt she sounded very knowledgeable, and the way that she was able to explain it in a way where she's not just giving the stats, but she's also giving her her perspective on where it's going as well. So I thought that was really really awesome.
Awesome. Well, really, really good stuff, Mara. Mara, stay tuned. I'm going to have you pick the next person. And I think this is applicable to every single person on the call. This is not market specific, but if you had to explain today's market to a first-time home buyer in 30 seconds, what's the honest truth you tell them about timing, competition, and opportunity? Oh, God, I love this one. So Mara, you get to pick the person that's going to answer this question next.
All right, Laura Franco, you're up, girl.
All right, girl, you're ready. Let's roll.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Oh, here I am. 30
All right,
seconds.
so deep breath. And let's roll.
The honest truth about the timing, the competition, the opportunity. Right now, what I would say to a first-time home buyer is that this is the time to go out and shine and look for the place that you're wanting to buy, because the market is in their court. You never know how it's going to change. The year is ending. We want to look forward to having something fabulous for you starting in the new year, and to oh my goodness.
All right, let's pause for a quick second. Let's send her positive light, positive energy, words of support. Laura, you got this. We know that it's hard in this environment, so take a deep breath and just keep rolling. You know this. So let's talk specifically about the Stockton market. What is the honest truth that you tell them about timing, competition, and opportunity right now from your vantage point? Let's roll.
Ooh, okay. The Stockton market is hot right now. For first-time home buyers, the prices are fabulous for you to go out and find something that you really, really want. So many opportunities, and it's aggressive right now. It's a buyer's market. You have so many opportunities, and you just want to be able to know that everything is going to be in your cart, your thing.
Okay, Laura, it's okay. Listen, I know it's a challenge and you're doing really, really well. Here's what I want to do. I want to encourage you to do this. I want you to run some comps, and I want you to look at some data. Right now, what is the zip code where you live?
95204.
95204. In that market, what is your average price point of medium homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
Around 350 to 450.
Okay, cool. So I want you to run some comps, and I want you to save in your zip code 350 to 450, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, average square feet of 1,200 to 1,700. Run some comps. And I want you to tell me how many homes are on the market right now. They'll give you a quick little snapshot of how many homes are on the market, how many of those have been sitting, and what you believe and why you believe Stockton's a great market for people. What's happening is that people are moving to Stockton because of why? Because of affordability, right? People
Right.
move over the Altamont Pass and they're coming to places like Stockton for affordability. You can get into a brand new build for $350,000 in Stockton in certain neighborhoods. I went and toured them a couple weeks ago. My mom might buy one. And so I think that your nerves get you in this situation, but this is what I want. I want you to get nervous here. So next time you meet somebody at the market and they say, hey, tell me a little bit about the market. I want to know what it's like. We're a first-time home buyer. I want you to have that confidence to share with them. But that means that you just have to do your homework. You just have to do your research. Does that make sense, Laura?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So Laura.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like when it's like I know it, but then it's like when I start talking to people, it's like you brain fart. You just like you start losing that.
So quick question for you. So we're doing this here. This is coaching. This is why we
Yep.
do this.
Yep.
So how many times during the week do you actually say this out loud?
I try and say this out loud to myself in the morning when I get up in the mirror. I'm like every day. I'm like, So, but it's
No, not your affirmations. Actually, message to market. How
message to
often are you
market.
saying this out loud?
Not as often as I should.
Yeah, and so this is an opportunity for all of us. So it's one thing to read about the knowledge, the market. That's the comprehension part of it. You're all
Right.
smart people. The articulation part of it is oftentimes the biggest challenge for us. When I hear Christina and Stephanie and Vivian and Ashley talk about the market, they take all this high-level market information about the job reports, about the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, all these things, and then they convey it in a way that we all understand on these calls. And so it's the same thing. They have the comprehension piece, but then the articulation piece of it is something that they've refined because they have to make sure that us as agents understand that and how it's going to impact our clients. And so Laura, let's give her some love, some light, some positive energy. Laura, we're going to practice more on this. We're going to practice and refine our skills on our message to market. That way you feel, my friend, you feel confident that in any scenario, I don't care who asks you, when they ask you, get on stage with your consumers at the market, you feel ready to roll. You feel ready to roll. So Laura, I want to say, I appreciate you having the courage because you could have stopped and not kept going. And you did.
Thank you.
All right. So listen, I appreciate you. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I'm going to have you pass the mic to somebody else now. So we're going to pass that pressure on to somebody else on the call. So if you had to explain today's market to a first-time home buyer in 30 seconds, what's the honest truth you tell them about timing, competition, and opportunity? Laura, pass the mic to that person.
I want to pass it to the girl, Heather.
Oh, she said "da girl" with the DA. So let's go, Heather.
Okay. I was not prepared, but
Good.
working with first-time home buyers right now. So if I had to explain to them, can you put the question up again?
You got it.
Thank you. If I had to explain today's market to a first-time home buyer in 30 seconds, I would say it's a great time to buy. There's a lot of opportunity out there, less competition. You have, it's hard in 30 seconds. I would say my specific market, okay, great time right now, less competition, a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of room for negotiation with sellers. A lot of sellers know that market's not so hot right now. So a lot of motivated sellers are willing to give credits to buy down your rate. So you have a lot of opportunity to get the home that you want at a comfortable price and a good mortgage rate that you can afford. And realistically, I think this is a great time to buy. It's a great time for buyers.
Beautiful. And for the people that don't know, what market do you serve?
I'm in Modesto, but I serve all of Stanislaus County. And now I've just kind of been working my way little by little into San Joaquin County as well. But primarily Stanislaus County. And I will tell you one thing. I've been talking to a lot of agents within Team Fast, and it's so weird how each to really know your specific area, like Modesto, is super different from Stockton. And Stockton's different from Galt, and Galt's different, you know. And then I was with Steffi, I'm not sure if she's on the call, but she was here yesterday. And it was like you have the Bay Area or the East Bay, but then she's got a listing in Pittsburgh or whatever, totally different from another part of the East Bay. And so it's just so crazy how different all our markets are. And when I was in Oakland talking to the Bay Area agents, I mean, their market's like popping. They're getting over asking. I was like, what did you say? Over asking? What's that word? You know, that hasn't existed in this area for a couple of years. So it's just really crazy how many, you know, how each market has its different nuances.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why we're Bay Area specialists, and obviously the Bay Area carries over to over the Altamont as well. That's what the beauty of this team is that when you listen, you'll hear how somebody is experiencing the Vallejo market. You'll hear how somebody's experiencing the El Cerrito market, Oakland, Brentwood, East Cocoa, and then you'll hear Stockton, Central Valley, Lathrop, Manteca, Modesto. So it's like, listen for that. So when a consumer talks to you, like, it really all depends. What market are you looking at? Okay, and why did you land on that area out of all the areas? Okay, what is it specifically about that area? And what's the bedroom count? 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, in that specific market, in that specific zip code, this is what I've experienced. But we have to narrow the consumers down in order to honestly answer that question. But you guys should be a wealth of information. And the only way that happens is by reading. You guys, it's about reading about the market, looking at your comps, looking at what's on the market, new on the MLS, running your comps, looking at the local data, the local statistics, and then taking all that and saying, okay, how do I practice this and convey this to people? You guys start in your own household. Talk to your husbands, talk to your wives, talk to your significant others. Say, all right, how does this sound? I'm going to talk to you about the market. And they'll give you their honest feedback. So you guys, I'm really, really glad that we're doing this. Heather, I'm going to go one more person on this. You get to pick that person. And good job.
Oh, thank you. And I just wanted to say really quick, thank you. I think it's Christina Home Loans. She said something about like the flood insurance stuff. And then I looked more into that. And I had these buyers, they were looking at a condo that requires flood insurance. I'm like, maybe we might not want to go with that one. So it was good because it just made me look more like an expert to have that info. So thank you. And
I love it.
I got to see who's on the call. Oh, look at all of you. Who looks the most scared? I'm gonna pick Pat. He doesn't look scared. He always knows what he's
All right, Pat, you're getting called to the carpet, big dog. Let's roll, man. If you had to explain today's market to a first-time home buyer in 30 seconds, what's the honest truth you tell them about timing, competition, and opportunity? The mic is yours.
All right, excuse my voice. I'm feeling under the weather as well, but under 30 seconds. All right, Elias, it depends where you're looking at. You know, it's a great time at some areas. If you're looking at Solano, East Bay, there's some pockets in there that we have to leverage still as buyers. But I'm going to be honest with you, in San Francisco right now, it's pretty tough. The condo market's picking up. There are some, you know, downtown Soma still has an oversupply of condos in there. So we have leverage and we can get our closing costs covered and whatnot. But that's not the case for the rest of the Bay. You know, it's getting hot as hell, especially with single family homes. It's flying off the market. It's still super tight. So going back to your question, is it a good time right now to buy? It depends. If you're open to go to Berkeley or, you know, some other pockets in the East Bay, then I think it's a wonderful time to buy right now. We can still have, you know, as much benefits as we can get as buyers. But yeah, long story short, it depends, and and whenever you're ready.
Yeah, you know what? Textbook, man. It is dependent on the consumer. It all depends on their scenario. It depends on where they're looking. I want to encourage everybody to remove this line from your vernacular. I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to be honest. Remove that. That's what I call verbal graffiti. Instead of saying that, just tell people the reality is, right? If they say, "Oh, tell me a little bit about the market," well, I'm going to be honest with you. No. The reality of the market is this, this, and this. This is what's happening. This is what I'm seeing. And so remove that. But Patrick, overall, really, really good stuff. Where do you go? What are your top 2 sources to pull real estate information from?
I honestly use Chat GPT like every morning. I go and tell it like, yo, give me a live up to date market, um, report right now. And then I also look into, I mean, I'm pretty active in the city. I do showings almost every day. And so I see what's going on. And also talking to people also in the other with our teammates, what they're seeing, how they're handling things. You kind of get a good sense of what's actually happening in your market with doing that. And so yeah.
You guys, wonderful stuff. When you attend the team meetings, we make our team meetings really, really short. But what we ask you guys for is the strategy. What you'll hear is, oh, I wrote on X amount of houses, or we had X amount of offers, or we weren't the top offer, but we got our offer accepted. You'll hear a little bit about that strategy. Remember those stories and use those as third-party stories when you're talking with your consumers, because you sometimes we want to tell them, oh, well, this is what I'm saying. No, no, no. The Andersons, one of my team members just closed with them. This is what they were up against, and this is how they're able to win. Use third party stories to get people to believe you even more and to build proximity. So, Patrick, don't go too far. You're off the hook. Hopefully, you feel better, my man. But the next question: where are the hidden opportunities right now that most agents aren't paying attention to? Is it expireds? Is it with investors? Is it in off-market deals, seller financing? Where do you feel that the hidden opportunities are right now for most agents? And maybe it's none of those. Maybe it's something completely different than what's on that list. So Patrick, I'm gonna have you pass the mic, buddy, and I'm gonna have you have somebody answer that question. Let's roll.
All right, let's see. Let's see who's in here. I think this is a pretty cool question. Mr. Chris, Eric Chris, how's it going, my man? Hello, sir.
All right, look at him. He's ready. And Aaron, it might not be what's on that list, but just to think like, man, there might be some opportunities for us to shake that tree, bro. What is that answer to that question from your vantage point?
You know what? Shit, I'm looking for feedback on that myself, but I with one client in particular that I've been showing and I've been into. We started in Richmond, then what he saw he could get his money for. He moved to East Contra Costa County, looked out here, saw he could get a little bit more, and then we went out to Stockton because his fiance is from Stockton, and what I found in Stockton and new construction, like you were mentioning earlier, they're giving incentives. They have standing inventory. They have things that are out there that when I went out there myself, I was like, holy, like Lennar has a whole section in North Stockton, and Lennar in the Bay Area will not pay broker co-ops. They don't, they're like, we don't need you guys. But you go to Stockton and these are beautiful houses, beautiful neighborhoods, 600,000. We were looking at 600,000 in Richmond. It was like a 2 bedroom, 1 bath in the neighborhood, right? They go to, and then they came out to Antioch and they saw a little bit more 3.2s, but it still wasn't really moving the needle. We went to Stockton, and even the resales in Stockton at the 600K point were like gated communities. Like I didn't even know this part of Stockton existed. And then when we finished the tour, it was up in the builder. So I think that for me, what I realized was that there is a huge opportunity in North Stockton for the builders. But as far as reaching out and getting people, I went to a Tom Ferry thing with Lisette yesterday, and they were talking about expireds and strategies on that. And I don't know. I think my personal sentiment around that was everybody's always talking about expired, so I'm gonna let them do that, and I'm gonna do something else. But at that Tom Ferry event, it kind of put things into perspective where I can maybe stand out a little bit from some of the scripting that they had. So that may be an opportunity, but and I've been talking to a lot of resellers. I've been going to meetups for investors and stuff like that. I've been learning a lot from there, and I think that there's some opportunities. But a lot of times those guys are talking to wholesalers too. So this is a very fascinating question, and I feel like I'm always talking to people like Pat and people at the office. Any office I'm at, anytime I'm around some of these agents, what are you guys doing? What's a little different? So this is a really fascinating question, and I'd say it's ever evolving. So great question.
So Aaron, really good stuff. You guys, here's a couple things that I believe that are slept on right now that I know that we can do at a higher level. I wrote a couple notes here, and let's stay here. I'd love to just have an open dialogue on this. And so when we when we think about where agents are missing opportunities, I believe the congratulatory knock, running your comps, and we've said this time and time again, run comps and see the houses that sold over asking price. If you're in the Central Valley, that number will be probably 20, 30,000. In the Bay Area, that number is going to be obviously a lot higher. Look at those markets where the house is sold over asking price. Call the listing agent and say, hey, I'm going to be doing some campaigning in the area. How many offers did you get on that home? Right. And most of the time, if you're a good communicator, you'll get some transparent information. That's, my friends, where you'll want to get with a buddy and go door knocking. A congratulatory knock. The congratulatory knock is very simple. Hi there. Hey, I just want to come by. My name's Elias. I'm with eXp Realty. Want to come by and congratulate you as a neighbor. What the fuck are you congratulating me about, right? Reptile mind. Reptile mind is this, right? What do you have to say? No, I just want to let you know that the values are up in this area. I'm not sure if you knew, but the Andersons sold their house and they had $30,000 over asking price. And so I want to come by and congratulate you because values are obviously up in the area. Oh, well, thanks. I also want to let you know they had 10 offers on that home, but they could only accept one. So it left 9 other people super heartbroken that they can't live here in this community. And so I'm just asking the neighbors, do you know anybody that's considering a move? It takes it off of them, no pressure on them. And then they'll say, oh, no, well, no, we're not, or they are, or whatever the case is. Well, cool. Well, here's my information. If you ever want to know the value of your home, I put a QR code on there. But my name's Elias. Really nice to meet you. And, you could always ask the question, back shoulder, nonchalant as you're leaving. By the way, what are your plans in the next 2 years with the home? Maybe they'll tell you, maybe they won't. But that type of congratulatory knock it's slept on. It is slept on. You're doing the door knocking for open houses. That's different. This is a congratulatory knock. Events. You guys have the ability to use Stockton, to use Fairfield, and to use Oakland to host any type of events that you guys want. Whether it's a Zumba class, whether it's cultural events, whether it's teaching hula, whether it's educational, whether it's spoken word, I don't care. You have the ability to host events and then lean in, like I've said before, like nobody's business, into your content. Be a digital mayor, be a digital commentator of all the things that are happening in your local market. And I just want to share with you guys one more time. This is something I did the other day, and it reached and exceeded over 10,000 views. And it was simple, you guys. I found that little speakeasy place in whatever Livermore. This post in the last couple of days, like, this thing's blown up. 10,000 views. It's been liked 214 times, but it's been shared 70 times. And it was just less than 30 seconds. So it's like content like this is working. You know what else is slept on? I could look on the screen. I could see who's doing this and who's not. Property tours is something every single one of you should be leaning into. Property tours are winning at the highest level right now. Look at Kuhn, look at George, look at Justin. Those are some names that come to mind right off the top. Property tours are winning at a very, very high level. And you just look at Eric King. I mean, Eric King in this last year has blown up his social media more than he did in the last 5 years combined. In 6 months. Why? Property tours. Property tours, you guys. You don't have to have the listing. You just go out there and say, hey, guys, I'm out here touring this 123 Main Street. It's a 2-door. It is listed by Vernon Williams. Let's go take a quick look. And you're sharing your thoughts, your energy, and doing some fun stuff. Those things are working right now, and you don't need a videographer. So, got a couple minutes. Is there any other things that you feel that agents are missing opportunities on right now? They're sleeping on this opportunity. Anything else? And I'll just wait for a second. Any other opportunities that most agents are not paying attention to right now that you feel would work? Let's go Vernon, let's go Evangeline, and then we'll start to wrap.
Understanding the condition, the condition of the market right now, sellers' properties are sitting on the market exponentially longer. Seller financing is a missed opportunity. Okay. They've either locked into a low interest rate. They're motivated to get out of the property. They may consider carrying the note in the form of seller financing to be able to kind of grandfather in or take over that low interest rate payment as a motivating factor. So the way what I've discovered, and I just came across one of these listings in Benicia, beautiful townhome on the water. Miss Susan has another property in Hawaii, and she's totally open to the seller financing piece only because it's taken her so long to dump the property. So what that requires of us as agents is asking, would you be open to that possibility? To the seller, you'd be surprised by the answers that you would get by simply asking. Missed opportunity, total win for the buyer. And there's a program out there called Rome. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but if you're not, we should talk about that in a later setting, E. But it allows you to absorb the seller's mortgage at the interest rate that they have, right? So that seller financing piece is phenomenal. Closed mouth doesn't get fed, like a closed book doesn't get read. Open your mouth and ask the seller if they're open to carrying the note for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, until the buyer's in a completely different position. It's a move. It's a play.
And I think that we should definitely spend a little bit more time on this next Wednesday. So really, really good stuff. Evangeline, hopefully you hit your 2 miles. What do you got for us?
Sorry, looking for unmute button. I did hit my 2 miles, but Facebook and Reddit, that's where I see a lot of stuff. And it's been really good for me, especially like being postpartum with the mommy at home. It's like you have your phone and you can do business from your phone, even nursing, whatever it is. But if you go on Reddit, I mean, people are constantly asking like about the market. What do you think I should do with my home? What do you think the value is? Yeah, and I feel like when you just start to comment and show yourself as a like a local expert or a Reddit expert without pitching yourself, you can drive some leads from there. Facebook, especially, be in every single group that relates to real estate, and you will see people looking for buyer referrals, seller referrals, whatever it is. I try to tag all my all my team members in the respective cities, but like it's a great way of prospecting.
Yes. So you guys, there's opportunities out there for all of us. Maybe property tours is your thing. Maybe the congratulatory knock is your thing. Maybe hosting events, or maybe it's just you oscillate through multiple of these. But at the end of the day, there's business out there for all of us. Business out there for all of us. So let's start to wrap session. When we get a couple key takeaways from some people on the call today. Let's go over to Kia, and then we'll go to one of our guests, Trinae. Kia, what is one key thought and one takeaway from our time together today? Let's roll, big dog. Kia, that's you. Yeah, there's only one Kia.
Sorry, guys. One key
You're acting like I called on John, and there's 7 John. She's just like, there's only one Kia, homie.
Woo. Sorry, guys. One key takeaway today is that there are a lot of different areas that we can tap into if we really wanted to. And I love how we are able to get together and talk about it. And I'm here actually taking notes, talking about Reddit, really? Like we can get on there. So definitely, for me, that's the biggest key takeaway. Like there's actually like other areas that we can do to kind of drum up our business and build our infrastructure.
I love it. And there's a lot of opportunities out there. You know what there also is? There's a lot of excuses. So we have a choice. We have a choice, my friend. Kia, I appreciate you. Trinae, let's all welcome Trinae officially. She has joined Team Fast. She sent me in her video last night and made it a little bit hard on you. So I appreciate you. So she joined the team, referred to us by Christine Holt. She's going to serve the Sacramento market and beyond. So Trinae, give us one key thought and one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
One key takeaway I say is just know your market, and also just keep being persistent, constant, just know, okay, how can I say this? Know your market and just continue to be consistent with your business, pretty much. If you stay still, you're not going to go far. If you make excuses, you're going to be stuck. So just keep going and just do what you need to do to grow.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So be on the lookout for your onboarding documents. But you guys, super, super excited. This time of the year lights me up. But I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of lit up all year. I'm just excited. I'm passionate about your guys' growth. Like I always hope that you guys hear the passion and not just the intensity. I want you guys to understand that I love you guys enough to push you because I know what is possible. I know what is possible. So you guys have an amazing, amazing day. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that truly matters. Peace.